The sophomore season of an NFL player is quite an important one, as at this point, we've seen how they've played through their first year, and have a general idea if they're heading towards a long and tenured career, or if they're going to be stuck underachieving from what was expected. And heading into the 2022 season, there are a number of players who are looking ready to take that next step, and quite a few that are looking to stay behind for a little bit longer. They say first impressions matter in life, and they usually do, but you can't always judge a book by its cover. Or in this case, an NFL player by his rookie year. Several 2021 rookies like Jamar Chase, Micah Parsons, and Najee Harris went off last season. So which of their fellow draftees will reach superstardom in 2022, and which ones will endure a difficult sophomore year? Well, here are 5 NFL sophomores that'll break out in 2022, and 5 that are bound to disappoint. And hey, a big shout out to Prestige Shogun for suggesting this video. Breakout, Trevor Lawrence. The first overall pick of the 2021 draft had the misfortune of playing out his rookie year under Urban Meyer. Meyer being gone is the main reason that we're optimistic about a breakout year for Lawrence, other than the fact that he's supposed to be really good. Not only is the disgraced former head coach out of Lawrence's way, but the Jaguars made a smart hire by replacing him with Super Bowl winning head coach Doug Peterson. If Peterson can beat Bill Belichick in a Super Bowl with a backup QB, imagine what he can do with a guy who is hyped as the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. Did the Jaguars overspend on certain players in free agency? Yes, but I mean, all-pro guard Brandon Scherff is still going to improve one of the league's worst offensive lines. Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and Evan Ingram are still better than the guys they're replacing from last year's receiving core. Also, Lawrence will get to line up in the backfield with old Clemson pal Travis Etienne, who missed his entire rookie year with a foot injury. Maturity, a massive head coaching upgrade, and a vastly improved supporting cast will add up to a breakout year from T-Law. Disappoint, Justin Fields. The Chicago Bears traded up to select Fields with the number 11 pick last year, but they certainly haven't done a lot to help him out. Fields had his moments, but mostly struggled as a rookie. The Ohio State product lost 8 of 10 starts, completing 58.9% of his pass attempts for 7 touchdowns against 10 picks. Firing head coach Matt Nagy was absolutely necessary, but replacing him with the defensive-minded Matt Eberflus was a very curious call. And despite having a ton of cap space, the Bears spent very little to fix an atrocious O-line and lackluster set of weapons. They even let Allen Robinson walk, leaving Fields with just David Montgomery and Darnell Mooney to work with. How's he supposed to improve under these conditions? It's a shame, but Fields is in a similar position to what Sam Darnold was in with the New York Jets. He finds himself stuck in a mismanaged team that really isn't doing much to put him in a position to succeed. We really hope Fields can eventually put it together and emerge as a franchise-changing quarterback, but it's hard to imagine him doing much in 2022. But that's on the Bears for dealing him such a bad hand. Breakout, Penei Sewell. In most other recent drafts, Sewell would have been a top 3 pick, but the teams picking ahead of the Detroit Lions in 2021 were too locked in on quarterbacks and pass catchers, so he slipped down to Dan Campbell's squad in the 7th slot. Certainly, the Lions aren't complaining. They came away with a man regarded as the best offensive lineman prospect in a lifetime. Sewell did have his struggles as a rookie, which is the case for the vast majority of offensive linemen, but he still garnered a very solid Pro Football Focus grade of 77.0 for the year. That's borderline Pro Bowl level. And yet, he hasn't even hit a ceiling yet. No, not even close. Sewell is going to be a mainstay on the Lions' stacked offensive line for many years to come. Detroit isn't close to contending at the moment, but the former Oregon star gives them plenty of hope over the long run. Sewell is probably going to be overlooked until the Lions finally become a contender, but try not to forget about him. If your favorite team isn't getting any pressure against the Lions, you'll know why. I expect Pro Bowl and All-Pro nods for Sewell in 2022. Disappoint, Jamin Davis. Now, with all due respect to Davis, it was hard to comprehend the Washington Commanders' decision to draft him 19th overall in 2021. It's not a knock against the player at all, it's just the front 7 wasn't exactly a major weakness for the team. I mean, they already employed Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Daron Payne, and Jonathan Allen there. It was surprising to see Washington pass up on a defensive back, offensive lineman, or wide receiver in favor of Davis. He struggled everywhere across the board last season. Per Pro Football Reference, 36 of the 42 passes thrown in his direction were completed. He gave up 328 receiving yards and had just 1 sack on the year. PFF also graded Davis at a disappointing 46.8, which means he was well below average. And we're not exactly keen on the idea of him turning it around in year 2. He was a bit of a reach to begin with, and Jack Del Rio didn't seem to have a good idea on how exactly to use him. We're not classifying Davis as a bust or anything, but he does have to be an above-average starter to meet or exceed expectations as a sophomore. With so many better playmakers around him, it's going to be tough for Davis to get enough playing time to truly break out. We expect at least one more year of growing pains before he finally gets there. Breakout, Christian Barmore. The New England Patriots got a steal when they snagged the Alabama defensive tackle in round 2 at number 38 overall in 2021. Barmore only started 2 games and played just 55% of the team's defensive snaps, but that's okay. Bill Belichick always has a plan, and he obviously figured it wasn't the time to make Barmore an instant starter. But there is some good reason to think that Barmore will break out as a sophomore. Belichick has a great history of quickly unlocking the potential of Alabama products, and Barmore looks ready to make the leap. Just consider this amazing stat. Belichick has never struggled to find run-stopping forces and capable interior pass rushers to lead his defense. At 6'4" and 310 pounds, Barmore is going to quickly close those gaps along the line of scrimmage and make more room for the likes of Matt Judon to get after the quarterback. Don't be surprised if Barmore is a Pro Bowler by next season. His maturity and high skill set shouldn't be overlooked in the slightest. Disappoint, Elijah Moore. Number 34 selection of last year's draft had a very solid rookie year on a hapless New York Jets team. In 11 games, Moore recorded 43 receptions for 538 yards and 5 touchdowns. If he and Zach Wilson both played all 17 games, maybe this offense wouldn't have been so unwatchable for large stretches. We want to think Moore can take that next step in 2022, but the improved supporting cast will make it tough for him. The Jets used a first-round pick on Ohio State product Garrett Wilson, who figures to emerge as the team's new number 1 wideout in short time. The Jets also re-signed the crafty Braxton Berrios to serve as the utility weapon and third down security blanket for Wilson. And big target Corey Davis, who was limited to 9 games last year, should have a much bigger role in that offense. Plus, the Jets signed former Cincinnati Bengals tight end CJ Uzomah, not to mention their promising running back duo of Michael Carter and rookie Breece Hall. You know that Robert Saleh is going to want to run the ball a lot more with those guys. So Moore now looks like, I don't know, the number 3 or number 4 option on this offense at best. We don't doubt his talent, but it's going to be difficult for him to get enough targets to reach breakout status in 2022. Breakout, Patrick Surtain II. Surtain was very good in 2021, make no mistake about that. But his ceiling is so darn high that we're not even considering his rookie season a breakout year. He recorded 4 interceptions and 14 pass defenses. Furthermore, he allowed 51% of passes thrown in his direction to be completed. Those are very impressive numbers considering that rookie defensive backs are usually lit up. Well, Surtain is just getting started as far as we're concerned. With Kyle Fuller and Bryce Callahan no longer on the roster, the Broncos will rely on the 9th overall pick from 2021 to erase opposing teams' top wideouts. And we know he'll be up for the challenge. Also, keep in mind that Denver's defense will benefit from better field position and more rest now that they have Russell Wilson operating the offense. There will be far less stress on the D to steal games now. All of these factors simply point to Surtain breaking out. Quite frankly, we are expecting a first or second team All-Pro nod in year 2. Disappoint, Kadarius Tony. It was a surprise to see the New York Giants spend a 2021 first-round pick on a receiver. They had just thrown a ton of money at Kenny Golladay, and there was already a solid set of skill position guys in Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley, and the now-departed Evan Ingram on the roster. Oh, and the G-Men used a second-round pick on Wan'Dale Robinson in this year's draft. So there's another guy who Tony has to compete with for targets. We want to trust Brian Daboll's ability to get the most out of the speedy Tony, who had just 420 receiving yards in 10 games a year ago. But Tony is in a similar situation as Elijah Moore. He's in a crowded receiving room on an offense that's probably looking to run the ball a lot more than they pass it. And again, this isn't all on Tony. He has a bottom 5 NFL quarterback in Daniel Jones throwing him the ball. If Tony was playing on a team with an elite quarterback, we'd have zero doubts about his ability to break out. But it feels like he won't fully hit his ceiling until he gets a better QB and the Giants decide to utilize him more. But why would they? Slayton, Shepard, and Galladay are all capable 1,000-yard receivers if healthy. We're not classifying Tony as a bust, we just don't think he's going to hit that next level in year 2. Breakout, Rashad Bateman. The moment the Ravens traded Marquise Hollywood Brown to the Arizona Cardinals, it made Bateman the new #1 wideout in Baltimore. The Ravens drafted Bateman 27th overall in 2021. Though he was limited to 12 games last season, Bateman salvaged 46 receptions for 515 yards and 1 touchdown. Keep in mind that he did this without Lamar Jackson for the final stretch of the season, and with Brown and Mark Andrews each putting up 1,000-yard seasons. With Brown and Sammy Watkins gone, there is no one on the roster who can possibly challenge Bateman as their leading receiver. It's going to be his time to shine with Andrews and Jackson. Bateman has the ideal combination of speed and size at 6'1" and 193 pounds. With an expanded role with Jackson fully healthy for 2022, everything points towards a big year for the sophomore wideout. Just you watch. Disappoint. Kyle Pitts. Hold it, Atlanta fans. Hear us out before you jump straight into the comment section. Trust us, this is not a knock on Pitts at all. We know he's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler, and perhaps the best tight end in the league once Travis Kelce slows down. Pitts' skill set doesn't have him on this list. Rather, it's the flawed roster that the Falcons have pieced together around him over these last few years. Pitts hit over 1,000 receiving yards last season with Matt Ryan feeding him the ball. But the 2016 league MVP was traded to the Indianapolis Colts this offseason, prompting Atlanta to roll with a QB room that includes Marcus Mariota and unproven rookie Desmond Ridder. That is hardly ideal for Pitts. We're just struggling to see how the former 4th overall pick will build off a superb rookie year with Mariota or Ridder tossing him the ball. Mariota is a decent dual-threat QB, but he's never really flourished as a pocket passer. You gotta think that Arthur Smith will want a more balanced offense with Mariota and Cordarrelle Patterson in the fold. Unless Mariota runs a Ryan Tannehill-like career revival, or unless Ridder has something up his sleeve we don't know about, it's tough to think that Pitts will hit that all-pro level in 2022. But which other NFL sophomores will break out in 2022? And which ones do you think will disappoint? Join us in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.